Here we go. The first track breakdown on this channel. Let's get into it. This is my flip of Madonna's Vogue, a classic dance floor banger from the early 90s. In fact, I think it was 1990 that it came out. Kind of set the tone for the rest of the decade for that whole house pop movement that was big back then. This is a snippet. I think I left something on there while I was checking this track out before the recording. If it sounded a bit dodgy then I do apologise. But yeah, that's fundamentally what the track is. If you want to hear the full thing, it's on my channel. So go check that out. If you haven't already, come back and I'll show you how I did it. So yeah, we've got the drums here. They're normally at the top, the drums in my projects, just so I know where they are whenever I open a project. I can instantly familiarise myself with it and know where everything is. The same with the bass and all the other elements, including the vocals and the sound effects at the bottom there. So yeah, the drums are just a simple Logic stock drum machine designer. It's got it's the stock samples, because if you use this drum machine designer, you click on, say, the kick pad, you see all your kicks on the left there in the library. You click on the snares, you'll see all the snares just automatically display for you. And then the claps, etc. goes on. It's so quick and easy and convenient to use that I've been using this one more and more in my projects, mainly because battery lately has been really unstable. I think they fixed it now, so we'll see. But for now, I'm kind of happy using this method. If I just solo these drums, you'll see what they sound like. Gotta pay homage to the 909s and the whole 90s theme there. So all nothing too spectacular, because I think with this track, it's, as with most dubstep, the way I like it in a way, it's the bass line kind of drives the energy and the rhythm in the track, and the drums kind of take a bit of a back seat, and you're just kind of using those to remind people, you know, it's still a dance track. We still keep it 140. I like the fact that all this percussive swingy UKG kind of sound has come back again. So that helps kind of, again, set that mark, that tone, that this isn't a 70 BPM track, because a lot of dubstep can kind of get a bit sluggish sometimes with that halftime kind of template. But no, what we're doing is we're emphasizing this is 140, this is the rhythm, and yeah, so just got to keep that energy up. And normally underneath the drums, you'll get, with my projects, the bass line, which is this. So I've rendered it out there, but these are the actual, see, I've left them unmuted. That's what that problem was earlier. So yeah, so individually we've got Zebra. I love Zebra, and it's basically a series of sawtooths and subs, but we've got the sawtooths kind of the waveforms distorted with some effects here on the wave shape. So we've got a fundamental modifier. So let's play that again. Just, you know what I mean? Just kind of making it sound bigger, really. And just, this is just a sub and some filtering, really simple. And then just some fine details. You'll see a lot of this. I've got a very subtle low end distortion going on there, which is kind of widening the mid lows, which I always end up narrowing back down at the sub frequency level there. And just adding like lots of degradation, but kind of in a really subtle way. I'm always mixing at like 30%, 50%, and normally it's getting these rattles and these kind of fizzing artifacts to kind of give the illusion that it's like rattling in a car system or a club. You know, you get these rattles around you, kind of blows up the bass a bit more. And then we've got same approach, exactly the same approach. I kind of process these basses all in the same way. I'm using the same thing just to keep it consistent. So it's the same chain, slightly different for each one. And again, I'm just distorting the wavetable. Not really the wavetable, so I'm not really moving through a wavetable. I'm keeping the wave static, but I'm distorting that waveform with like literally a phase distortion here. You know what I mean? So that's always fun to play with. Let's play that again. Yeah, get the idea. And then for the howler, that's what I call like a howling bass line. It sounds like an owl, right, or a wolf. You don't want to distort that, because if you distort those howls, it kind of sounds more a bit flat and it loses the energy. Look. So I ended up taking that off. You know, we want that kind of sunk down, sub-low kind of agginess to it, right? We want to keep it more dubby. You know, it is a dubstep tune after all, and it's not always about going louder and bigger. Sometimes you can just have a loud thing and then switch to a quiet thing, and it's like, it gives this really moody effect. And all I've done, same again. I like Valhalla Supermassive. It's like a reverb and a delay in one. And as you can see, I'm kind of very stripped back with my approach. I kind of get the most out of each individual thing. Same with the riser. Like, I'll just have one riser in this tune, but it's also a string. It kind of carries the build up. I'll show you this riser. So it's kind of carrying everything along with its kind of tone. It's like a melodic, it's like the tonic note, I think. And then just kind of gradually rising it and distorting it and bringing in white noise. And so you get like a bit of a string and a riser in one. I'm all about like the efficiency. I don't like to plaster on sample after sample after sample. I think each thing has to have a job to do, and then make it do it to like the best of its ability, right, and get the most out of it. So with this, it's Zebra again, lots of Zebra. As I say, I love Zebra. Literally saw wave, white noise, and then EQing some delays, things like that. And in the end, it ends up sounding like this. Really effective approach, and it's original, right? I'm not just using a sample from Splice and just throwing it in there. It's kind of my own. It works with the track really well, gels with the track. And we've got this little break, chopped up break before the drop. And it's literally just this. It was a break beat. That was a sample, and I'm basically just chopped that up, right, and just kind of pitch it up. I used the stock sampler to do that, with some just a bit of reverb and some tube distortion just to add some grit. The main thing I've done though is if you look at the attack envelope, really kind of shorten that attack to give it that kind of choppiness. Otherwise, if you don't have the choppiness, it sounds a bit rubbish. You know what I mean? Doesn't really fit that kind of UKG vibe we're going for. Yeah, and then you just got the middle section. You looking? Same approach to the bass line, sawtooths, distorting the sawtooths, modulating that a bit, and then just a bit crush bass effect. You know, without the bit crusher, it's nothing. Look, I want to go back to that. I lost it. There we go. Yeah, it's your bog standard growl, right? But yeah, man, takes me back to those kind of old school dubstep tunes, you know, around 2008, 9. Yeah, tried to bring a bit of that back. Yeah, I think just brought some more percussion in here, just some fast to turn the energy up a bit. Some open hats and some ducking go-go's. And yeah, and just bringing in some of the original vocal here and there, some of the vocal attacks. What are you looking at? You know, they're like iconic from the original. I had to throw those in there. And obviously the original vocal a cappella. Really like processing, a bit of excitement, a bit of grit, and I'm just basically chopping that up, and that's it really. Like the other things, like the stabs, I've just straight ripped from the tune. That kind of thing, right? Where you look at this one. Yeah, we got that. Really simple. I mean, it sounds rubbish, but I don't care because it's in the background. So you got a lot of those digital artifacts from the stem separation, which I used in Logic. I used the Logic stem separator to get all these elements from the original tune. Most of it came out fine, but yeah, some of it's a bit dodgy. Just like the strings of the intro. With the strings of the intro, I've pretty much left them as they were. And I'm not going to play them because I don't want this little session taken down. Because I've got a feeling at some point they'll take that remix off because I've just basically straight ripped the original strings, which I think has triggered the copyright system. Anyway, we got the bass line. Just remade the original bass line. I just drew for the Logic stock 303 emulator, the ESM, and just fattened it out. All these are really slight kind of the kind of like thickening effects, and add bits of texture and warmth and bits of like room reverb. Like each one is just doing something really subtle, but it all adds up in the end, right? And yeah, bits of like white noise plastered as they're like symbols. I like to do that. I like to make some white noise and kind of make a symbol out of it rather than use just a symbol. You know what I mean? That flows through the whole track, that repeats and the drops. And yeah, and I remade the pianos because I couldn't quite get those ripped properly. And when I did kind of find a good loop from the original track, it kind of didn't fit my remix, so I went in and just made some pianos in Contact. This sampler here, Contact 7, used one of the old presets. Lots of humanization, some velocity variants just to make it sound like it's played by an actual human. And yeah, just some width. Some like analog color to it, I wanted it to sound like a real pop piano, right? Bright and wide and like chirpy. So yeah, I thought that worked really well. That's pretty much it. If you've got any questions for me, please leave them in the comments. If I've missed anything, please let me know. I'll do my best to answer all of them. Go and check out the videos that I've been uploading lately in case you've missed them. There's some cool things like some live performances. We've got all the new music that's coming out, as well as this remix, obviously. So yeah, go check all that out, and please subscribe if you want some more, because if you subscribe, it kind of motivates me to get back in here, switch the camera on, do more of this stuff. So yeah, I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.